This is the Waitrose Cookery School. Welcome to my top table. He grew up in a guest house in Skegness. He worked the beach as a donkey boy and is now in charge of a global restaurant empire. My guest is Jason Atherton. Jason, welcome.
Thank you.
Stuff of dreams, it's Hollywood stuff, this story of yours, a skeggy donkey boy, all that. And now, how many projects have you got underway now?
We've got 15, we're about to launch our 15th restaurant, and we grow to 25 restaurants over the next 5 years.
25?
Yeah.
Covering how many continents?
By then we'll be in every continent across the world. So it's pretty crazy stuff. Yeah?
Did you ever imagine that would be the case?
No, Sir Michael, I never dreamt in a million years. When I left Skegness at 16, all I ever dreamt of being was a great cook. Not even a great chef, I just wanted to learn to cook properly and be good at my craft. Yes. And then it just took a life of its own, and it was like a roller coaster. I just hung on for dear life and just hope it never stops, you know?
Before we trace that path of yours, how do you maintain control? Because with a chef with a reputation that you've got, the Michelin stars and all that, and at a distance 5,000 to 10,000 miles where you have a restaurant, how do you ensure that your reputation isn't being shredded over there by somebody who's, just not up to it?
Yeah, sure. I mean, first of all, they've all got to have worked in close proximity to me at some point in their career, so they've had to have spent time with me on the stove. That's super crucial. And I run, rightly or wrongly, I run every restaurant with a chef patron. So every restaurant has a chef who runs it like its own business. I give him a share of the business. So we invest in it as a company. It's his restaurant. Yes, it bears the company name, but I never allow it to bear my name. So each one's got its own identity, like Esquina in Singapore, or Table Number One in Shanghai, or even Pollen Street Social, my flagship, still doesn't bear my name.
Going back in your career, was there a moment when a chef said to you, I think you've got a great talent?
My first ever job was at a really sort of mediocre hotel in Skegness called the County Hotel, and there's a general manager there called William Drummond. And I'll never forget him, a big, tall Scottish bloke, very rotund and very strict. And he set us all a task once. I was only there for like 6 months, and he set me a task and said, I want you all to create a dish. And I was only a commis chef. And I created this dish, and he said, wow, that's really nice. And I was like, oh, is it? And it was the first time anybody in a workplace had ever told me I was good at something. And I sort of it was a little bit addictive, and I kind of like this. And he said to me, one day you will be one of those great chefs in London. I just know it. And I was like, this guy's crazy. He's either been drinking or something. I don't know, And I never forget, the very next day I went out to the high street in Skegness. We had a W.H. Smith's there, and I bought this book called Dining in France. And I opened it up, and it had all the great chefs in there, like Alain Chapelle, Marc Monod, Pierre Gagnon just started his career then. And I saw this beautiful food, and I was like, if I'm going to do this for the next 50 years, I have to cook food like this. I didn't say I wanted to be one of those chefs. I just had to cook food like this. And then the very next day, I wrote to all the top chefs in London. Nobody would take me on apart from one guy called Boyd Gilmore. He had a Michelin star restaurant in Kensington called Boyd's Glass House at the time. And he took me on. I came down. I had no experience whatsoever. I lived in a youth hostel in Earls Court, and Mum was absolutely mortified because I literally ran away from home. She was on holiday in Spain with my stepfather, and my sister was supposed to look after me. And I just came. And Mum went mad when she came back, but she came to see me, saw I was living in a decent accommodation, and she was happy for me to crack on.
And from then on, what's interesting about you is you're kind of like a light the blue touch paper and stand back. Because you've never been frightened, have you, of actually gambling, in a sense, with your talent. I mean, you went to El Bulli, the most famous restaurant in the world. You turn up with a knapsack on your back, no credential really, and said to them, I want a job in your restaurant. Well, they never employed anybody who wasn't Spanish. So what gave you the inclination that they were going to do anything with you except say, go away?
Well, he did try to tell me to go away quite a few times, but I was just... if this guy's supposed to be the best chef in the world, the most talented, most creative, then I have to be next to him. How can I get next to him? How can I just feed off this guy? I wouldn't say no for an answer. And I just said, I finished with my girlfriend at the time. I dumped my girlfriend. I packed my bag and off I went. And I got to Spain, and I got on the bus, the 24-hour bus, what takes you to Barcelona. And then I got to Rosas on another bus. Couldn't get any accommodation. I slept on the beach. I then went up Cala Mount Joy, up the little mountain range, and got to the restaurant door. And I said, look, chef, I'll do anything. You know, I'll wash the pots, you know, I'll clean your shoes, I'll do anything. I just want to work here. And he said, look, you know, we just don't take people who don't speak Spanish because, you know, in the heat of the kitchen, it goes to Catalan, first of all. And he said, we just don't have time to wait for you to pick up Spanish. I said, look, chef, I promise you I'll do anything. And he said, after about half an hour of this begging, he said, OK, look, we'll let you stay for a month. If it works out, you can stay for the season. If it doesn't, then you've just got to go. And he said, OK. I said, I'll give it I really appreciate it. Started work the next day. And you know, I'm not being egotistical, but I'm really quick in the kitchen, you know? So it's like, you know, there were these other Spanish guys opening scallops and they were a lot slower than me. So I was like steaming through the work and he was like, this guy's great. You know, he's getting all this preparation done for us and he's not costing us a single penny. And all they've got to do is feed me twice a day. And it was just the best experience of my life.
And you became friends, didn't you?
Yeah, we're great friends this very day.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're going on a bit of a world tour together for his new cookbook coming out. So we're going to help him launch that and promote it. And he writes all the forwards for my cookbooks. And he's a big supporter of mine. So I'm very, very honoured to be one of his disciples.
And I mean, you worked some very great chefs. I mean, innovative chefs. Marco Pierre White.
Yeah.
I mean, he was an extraordinary. I think back to what he created.
Yeah, I still have
nightmares. In a sense, he was one of the first ones. What it was.
I still have nightmares. He was tough, yeah, because cooking back in sort of like the 80s and the 90s when he was at his peak in this country was unregulated. Do you know what I mean? It was like, it was just a bunch of British guys. You know, everybody in his kitchen was British and everyone was fighting to be the next Marco Pierre White. And it was literally like Vietnam. It was crazy. I mean, you know, we worked from 6 in the morning till 1 o'clock the next. You'd stay behind, you'd polish the stoves, polish the copper pans, anything to get ahead, you know? And it was just the best kitchen in the country, if not Europe at the time. It was really tough, but he was such a phenomenal talent. I still say to this day, Sir Michael, that watching him cook, he was almost like a tortured genius because he was just so good at what he did, but I don't think he even realised how good he was. Cooking for him was just a natural ability he had, but he was just completely bonkers.
But then you moved from one war zone to another, Gordon Ramsay.
Yes, I did, yeah.
Are you rather effective for punishment?
I just want to make sure I learn through the hard knocks, you know. So but Britain had never seen anybody like Gordon before, you know. Gordon had the whole package. Not only was he a great chef and learned from some of the great French masters like Jean Robuchon and Guy Savoy and the Roux brothers, he was also great on TV. He was media savvy.
Absolutely.
He could charm the pants off a 1,000 ladies. You know, and he was just like the ultimate alpha male, I suppose. Really, yes. He walked in. He oozed confidence when he walked into the kitchen, and the presence. He's just a fascinating guy.
Then onto your own restaurant.
Yeah,
that always been the aim. One assumes that was what you always wanted.
Yeah, Sir Michael. I mean, you know what? I never had any. I never sat and wrote it down and said I want to win my own Michelin star, or it was only ever about being a great cook. That was the most important thing for me. I know some people might not believe it, but I just love food. I'm in love with food, and I think I'm the luckiest man in the world. You know, I read every day about people winning the lottery and winning 100 million quid or doing this, and I don't sit there with envy at all. When people win an Oscar or they do this, I just think I'm the luckiest person in the world to have my job and be in love with food. I just love it. You know?
And what's the significance of the Pollen Street Social?
You'll like this. This is a nod to the northern roots, what we're both from. All I remember is, even though Mum and Dad split up when I was like 4 and we moved to Skegness, I'm still very much, you know, a North Nottinghamshire, South Yorkshire boy. Yes. I'm Sheffield United supporter. I, you know, go back to places like Cresswell and Worksop and where all the pit mines are. And they always had the social club. So anytime it was anybody's birthday or someone passed away or celebration, or it was always done at the social.
The social, yeah.
And I thought, you know, it's kind of cool that I was 38 at the time. I'm opening a £3 million restaurant in the middle of Mayfair. No one's going to expect to call it the social, right? So I wanted to create like the social.
The Pollen Street Working Men's Club.
Yeah,
basically.
for people who live and working around Mayfair. I just thought it was kind of cute, so that's what I called it.